through turn 2 here. Nice, smooth line. She looks relaxed. The sled comes out, snaps. 47.8, fastest speed we've seen on the exit of turn 2. And she handles turn 3 just as well as you would expect from somebody that has about 1 billion runs down this track.
Silver in the World Championships here in 2016. She's had European Championship medals here as well.
89.5, by far the fastest speed we've seen through Kreisel. Nice looking exit's going to set her up nicely through 9 as she into 9, goes into the green by 0.04 of a second. Oh, right down Broadway. 100.1. I would have killed for that an hour ago.
That is great speed. 119.3, that's 74.1 to the 71 of anyone else.
Bye.
Wow, and just that one shot alone of how she shot across the line. She didn't come across the line, she flew. And that means her road traffic accident here at the end, she's doing a lot more than 30 miles an hour. She's using those, well, the crash mats, put the crash into crash mat, don't they?
I think Janine just looked at the field and said, come and get it, ladies.
Yeah, absolutely.
She just threw down a burner. I'm probably going to eat my words for saying that, but great looking run. Exit, Kreisel, you can't do it any better than that. Anybody watching at home, that's how you do it. Nice and relaxed, early and parallel in the 8, exit of turn 9. She's just trusting it. Look at that. Runners are perfectly straight. She's a little bit to the left, doesn't care. No big deal. I'm just going to leave everybody.
Lācis as again. She won both ICC races here in December. Her first ever official wins here. Next up is Mimi Reniva, bronze medalist here last year, the 30-year-old from Canada. 2 races here in the World Cup, 2nd and 3rd. That's not a bad record.
Mimi definitely has a skill set for this track. She's a fast starter, and she's a good glider. 5:34, fastest start of the day, up 2/10. But we see her hit the on-take of turn 2. You see the oscillations from the sled and a toe to keep it straight on the exit. That is a lot of energy going the wrong way. Handles the exit of turn 3 very well, though. She's up 2/10 on Janine. We'll see how she can manage it as she goes through the middle of the track.
Big knee steer there, again looking a little less tidy. Maybe she's got a wilder setup than Janine. She's losing that advantage.
Dabake going into Kreisel, and that clip on the left is not going to help. She's down 300. She's in the red. She needs a really good bottom of the track if she wants to reel Janine back in, but down down 3K on speed going through turn 10.
In the men's first heat, we had 2 Olympic champions in the field. They were both 2200s behind Martins Ducours. So 6300s back. Now that is a very big margin for Mimi. I'm not sure her podium run is going to continue off that slide.
And we have a heck of a battle for 2nd and 3rd at the moment, though, because her and Valentina are separated by only 0.02 of a second. What's big here, though? Janine, 74.1 miles an hour. The next fastest speed was Mimi, 71.9.
Sarah Reid, former Canadian slider with the sled. Great to see her back. And so many former sliders, this year particularly I've noticed, being brought back into coaching.
Exit Kreisel, you see that clip on the left and a little small skid. She gets the toes out to keep the sled straight. It's a good save, but it's definitely not plan A. Then exit, turn 9. She hangs it up a bit. Now you see her. She's trusting it. It's a veteran move. You're going to take the tap. No big deal. Lets it bounce back into turn 10. So a good save, but a couple of plan B lines there.
Yeah. 6 of our 21 sliders is our Olympic silver medalist, the reigning women's skeleton world champion, Jacqueline Lerning of Germany, in her 28th World Cup race. Soon to reach the big 3-0. 8 wins, 9 podiums in her career, never out of the top 8. Now, if that's not the curse of a commentator, I don't know what is.
Hey, Lolling, he did it, not me.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at me.
Jacka has got quite some ability in everywhere but the first 50 meters.
5.57, so she is back, but this is what Lolling does. She brings heat all the way down the track. Nice looking smooth line through turn 3. A little bit late going into turn 4. How does she handle it? That caused some trouble in 5 for the men. No problem. I got this.
400s behind Janine at the start.
Ooh, clip in the Kreisel, though. How is that going to affect? She's got the same speed as Janine. Using the toe, she hits again on the left. 800s back. She is bleeding speed. Things we do not see from Jacqueline Lolling. This is all your fault.
Little wild ride. 99.5. Good speed.
Still a half K down on Flock, though.
And Flock was 120, so Jacqueline Lerning will be second, but 2/10 back at the line, a quarter second 1900s, all right, so as ever, she arrested the drama. She stopped the bleeding down in that lower labyrinth. Oh, look at that. That is, it never looks good, and I'm sure it feels a lot worse than it looks on the TV.
It hurts. I'm going to be honest with you. I have a fair amount of tape on my arm from that outrun today.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
Little smile from Jacqueline Lurling. She's in the medal hunt. 1900s back. The gap to third, Mimi Reneva. 6300s off the lead.
See, lulling here on the exit of turn 5, kind of going in late to 6. We saw that from the guys' race where a lot of guys were flopping off. She just gets the late line, but comes out of 6, hangs it up a bit, and clips the right wall going into Kreisel. See, exit turn 9. Just bouncing around a little bit, but the runners are straight. She takes that small tap, no big deal. But if you're going to try to chase down Janine Flock on this track, you better be close to perfect.
Yeah. Next up, Jane Channel on the right-hand side, her fan club. The brooms that sweep the track.
Oh, gosh. Let's hope Jane doesn't get swept off her feet today.
She'll be good, she'll be good. 30-year-old Jane Channel, 14th here last year.
Little clip on the wall. Oh, double tap. Maybe 3 before turn 2. That is not great. 5:36 start, but she already bled most of that speed away. 47.5, so she's down on speed from everybody because of that. 400s up, she's got to be perfect. You see the toe before turn 4.
She's in a hole and she's in free fall. She was 1700s up. She's already 700s behind.
2Ks down on the exit of Kreisel, then taking that small tap in the wall. 2/10 is going to grow.
Yeah, all other things being equal, she should have been around 6/10 ahead of Janine Flock at the bottom with that quicker start, but Janine had such a clean run. And Jane half a second back. Top 5 will be a good recovery, because you can't give away speed at the start. It's like stumbling out of the blocks when you're a sprinter. It does not add to your speed.
Here's the thing, that wasn't that bad of a run after turn 2. The entrance of turn 1 coming out of the grooves, you know, sometimes that's just racing. The rest of the run looked really nice, but it was over by the entrance of turn 2.
35th World Cup for Jane Channel may not be one of her favorites.
I think she would have preferred to get hit by the broom. You see her coming into turn 1 here, clips that left wall. What that's going to do is knock her away. She tries to skip turn 1. We see her clip the left wall in the belly of the corner, then a skid, and she kicks the right wall again. It was over right there, and she knew it. A solid recovery. I mean, she's still beat a couple of people. She's got a chance to stay in the race, obviously, and go hunting second heat.
Quick getaway from our reigning winner here. This is Elena Nikitina of Russia. She's also the reigning European champion, because the Europeans were here last year on purpose rather than by accident. 5:20, enormous start from the Russian girl.
Big start. I beat you today, Nikitina, though.
So far.
You see the toe action on the exit of turn 3. She clips the wall. Another toe in turn 4 and 5, sorry.
All right, so 3,300 up at the start, went out to 5,700s. By the time she gets to Kreisel, she's losing time back.
Down a K, and then big toe action on the exit of Kreisel. 3,600s up it right now, but we'll see how that lead, how she holds on to it. Nice exit of turn 9, but she's down 2K on Janine going through turn 10.
It's such a short track, just over 1,300 meters, but her time has run out, her advantage has run out, and Janine Flock will lead Elena Nikitina second by 900ths of a second. Well, that sets up a fantastic second heat, no matter what anybody else does. And again, putting the crash into crash mats here.
Yeah, the face plant's getting thrown off the sled. Not exactly my favorite dismount. Everybody has their preferences here in Eagles.
Yeah. So Elena Nikitina
doesn't look stoked.
No.
Exit turn 3. See the sled come out. She's fighting it, and still clips that wall. Then exit turn 9. This was pretty good. She plants it on the right center side of the track, we see a little toe action, but it's not on the ground. The runners are straight. Actually, she does break into a skid. I stand corrected. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Why do you even have me in the booth?
Well, because nobody likes the sound of my voice all day long. Plus, you know a lot more than me. Okay, so Elena Nikitina in second place. What about Yulia Kanakina, 22 years old? She won her first race here. World Championships in 2016 was her first race here. She didn't win that. 5:27 start for her.
Good getaway from Yulia. 5:27, so 700s behind her teammate. Coming out though, and she's on the wrong side of the track going into turn 3. We see a couple of waves. How's it going to manifest on the exit? She drove it.
For one reason or another, Junior World Championships, all sorts of other things, she has very rarely competed at the top level in Innsbruck.
88.6, so she's down almost a kilometer an hour on Janine, but she's up 3,600. Little clip on the wall, down to 24. Is the track short enough for her to hold on?
No, she's going to run out of time, isn't she? 97.1, 60.3. That's 2 miles an hour slower than Janine Flock, the leader. 5 Ks down, 2.5 miles an hour. Slower than she needs to be. Where's she going to be? Third, fourth? Fourth at the line.
Wow, that just went away.
Yeah. Again, her last race on this track of any kind, World Championships 2016.
Here's the thing. Everybody that's a skeleton athlete watching at home is like, what is going on? It's Eagles. Just lay there. Guys, this track is cut funky right now. It has everybody scratching their heads. It is weird.
Can I just say, track workers in Calgary, go mess the track up a bit. Because it's just adding an extra little bit of value to the equation.
It makes it interesting for sure. We see her exit a Kreisel. The sled dips. She drops the toe to try to get out of it and still clips that left wall. And now she's actually handles it pretty well going into turn 8. But that little clip on the wall is not the best way to get around the corner.
They all add up, don't they? Top 3 covered by 1900s, and then there's another 3 tenths back to 4th, and 5th is another 2 tenths back. So big gaps in our field as Sophia Griebel has her chance on the ice. 10th of our 21 starters. Best results here, 7th in the World Championships 2016, 2nd in the Junior Worlds 2013.
5:55, she navigates turn 1 really well though, and that is gonna help her cause. Those that get around there without working a lot seem to have some better luck. 47.5, so she's actually down on speed because of it. So maybe she had to work a little hard. Oh, clip on the wall going into turn 4. How is that going to manifest in 5? Little runner drop early into 6.
Well, listen, if you're already 1300s behind Janine Flock in 4, then life is going to get a lot tougher further down the track, no matter how good you get.
But the exit of Kreisel may have helped her, but she's down a half second. She's going to continue to bleed some time. The question is, how far is she going to fall? In 10th place right now, 97.8, down on speed. She needs a good labyrinth to maybe climb a bit.
3 kilometers an hour too slow. This is not going to put her any better than 10th place really at the line. Sophia Griebel, 8:55.19. Now, there weren't enormous dramas below the upper labyrinth, but had she lost too much speed early on?
Yeah, I think maybe she had to work for it up top. I'm not exactly sure how their sled setup was. It seemed like that it looked better than the speed showed. You see exit turn 3. This really did not help. The sled's pointing the wrong way and actually clips the wall on the wrong side of the track going into turn 4. Then exit of turn 9, plants it down that right side. She looks really settled there, but I think the damage was done before she even got to Kreisel.
Yeah, the bottom part of the track looked good, but she wasn't going as quick as she needed. So 10th place for Sophia Griebel out of 10 sleds. Janine Flock leads by a tiny margin from Elena Nikitina. Jacqueline Lurling still in the hunt. 10 down, 10 to go, 11 to go in our first heat of the women's skeleton in Innsbruck in Austria. Next up is 28-year-old Tina Hermann, 11th here last year.
Such a good view of the eyes. Oh, she gets pulled to the left, just like Jane did. Catches a little blip on the exit of turn 1, but she managed it pretty well. She missed that inside wall, but she comes out and clips the left wall. She's already back in the red by the exit of turn 2.
Tina Hermann won the race here 2 years ago. Last year, 11th place was her worst ever World Cup result and her only finish out outside of the top 10.
She's fighting it. You see her keep putting the sled in the skids. 88.4, way down on speed compared to your leaders. Not something we're used to saying out of the Germans. The Germans just are not finding the speed today. Good-looking exit of turn 9, though. 99.1. Pretty good speed, but not nearly what the hometown queen Janine Flock was able to throw down.
118.4, 2Ks down, quicker than her teammate. She's coming back from a 7th place start to 5th at the line.
Usually I make fun of Dirk when he shakes his head, but you saw her put the sled into a bunch of skids up top, fighting for the good line. Once again, this track is not Eagles. Normally it's easy, lay there, push fast Eagles. See her grabbing her shoulder after smoking the wall in the outrun.
Yeah. Well, 11th place last year, victorious the year before. She's halfway between that with 5th after the first heat.
You see her come out of the grooves, and the sled just gets kicked to the wrong side. She's got that toe down, but she cleans it back up, puts her feet together, and says, all right, if it's going to go over here, I'm going to fix it. She trusts it, gets it up on the end of the corner, counters nicely, and survives into turn 2. But there was so much energy going the wrong way, and we see it right there, coming out and just tagging. Not just the brush on the wall, a good hit on the exit of turn 2.
Not a top draw run from Tina Hermann. Next up for Canada is Elizabeth Meyer. Husband Benny will be calling a 4-man race alongside me tomorrow because he may not race again until hopefully the World Championships. Shaved his beard off. In a degree of stages, he looked very Edwardian at one stage, but apparently he wanted to remain married to Elizabeth, so that went.
Liz just threw down a nice start, 5:36, but comes out and hits that left wall. I thought she was going to be okay. She had a nice 1-2, but it's tricky. Up 0.2 of a second, though. Little toe action on the exit of turn 4. Check her speed as she goes into Kreisel. 88.6. She's down on speed. Janine was 89.5. And that clip on the left wall and the skid. She's up 0.06 of a second.
She's in the frame. She's had a couple of silver medals here in the last 5 outings.
In third, but 98.3 speed. She really needs to butt up. 169, pretty decent speed.
Oh, wild.
For 12, though.
And that is going to cost her another 1/10 of a second. This will put her down to 5th or 6th. 4th at the line, 54.74. From there, maybe she can fight for the medals. 500s ahead of Tina Hermann.
Little Kristen Bromley throwing it back in homage. Legs everywhere, but the speed was there deep.
Well, the moose is loose. Now, what is she going to produce in a second heat?
Is that a new helmet paint job? Because that looks clean with the plaid. Nice. Exit. Kreisel clips on the left wall. We see her fight as she puts it into a little bit of a skid going into turn 8.
Saw her elbow come out there, which is so not Elizabeth.
Exit turn 12, though.
Yikes.
Just letting it fly. I mean, it really, the line worked. It looked a little worse in the live shot, but I really am not mad about it. And that's a veteran move, just trusting that it's going to be okay. Or just not caring at that point.
Well, just, letting the sled fly. Good day so far for British Skeleton. Let's see what Laura Dees can produce. 30-year-old Olympic bronze medalist in World Cup number 35 of her career. Second to Janine Flock in both ICC races here in December when neither of them were sliding World Cup. You can see why the skeleton athletes say they're getting shaken around by the track. Even at the start, the head's getting bobbled side to side.
5:44 getaway for Laura. Good speed, 47.8. She's got nice speed going into turn 3. Handles turn 3 well. A little late in a 4, but she's managing it. And that, like, once again, for those watching at home that have a million runs down this track, the top of this track is cut very, very difficult right now.
4 World Cup races here, 6th, 7th, 7th and 6th are her results. At the moment, 1300s behind, hovering around 6th and 7th on the splits. Not a bad exit.
Down to 8th right now, 98 kilometers an hour on the exit at turn 10, up to 7th. 3/10 back on the leaders. Where's this going to slaughter in, though? I'm going to say 6th.
Yeah, I'm not sure the speed is there. Let's have a look at the line. 7th place, 54.87. Marcus Wyatt, her teammate, recorded his best finish ever in a World Cup earlier on. Decent run for Jerry Rice to get in the top 10. Jack Thomas comfortably making the cut here.
Good showing from the British boys earlier today.
Yeah, yes it was. Laura Dees trying to keep that alive.
she might have hit her wrist or something in the outer, and I saw a piece of tape hanging off the sled. We see her coming out of the grooves here. She got lucky. I mean, you see the sled rocking back and forth, and it just came out straight for her, unlike some of the other people. And then exit of turn, that's exit Kreisel. Nice and parallel down the left side of the track. Little leg, oh, she does hit the on-take. Those hurt, those little shots like that.
Yeah.
They just annoy you, too.
Hurt the body and hurt the time as well. So Laura Dees currently lying in 7th place. As we get to Kimberly Bos of the Netherlands, let's see if she can undo some of the damage from the last race where she finished outside the top 10 and apparently now has to start drinking coffee, which she's never done in her life. 25 years old, she's been 13th and 7th in her 2 World Cup appearances here.
5:56 getaway, so 13th best getaway for Kim. Down on speed as she goes to the top of the track here, but if she can come out of 3 clean, she's got a chance. Little brush on the wall. It is just so difficult through there right now because you want to steer, but it's Eagles, so your brain says don't.
1-2 ICC races here in the November before the World Championships in 2016. So she knows how to find speed in the track. It's eluding her at the moment. 13th on the split times.
97.7, down a little bit on speed. If she has a good lap, she's got a chance. 117.1, so pretty competitive speed. That'll see her move up a couple of spots on the charts going through turn 14. She comes across in 11th.
Ooh, okay. 55.18. There's a shot at a top 10 result. So far this season, she's been 9th, and then a disappointed 16th in Altenburg.
Pretty solid little run from Kim. The top of the track, once again, is just so difficult this week. And you can see the little micro steers. She's trying to, wish the sled back on the line. It just gets a little off, and you don't know why. We see her exit turn 9 here. I mean, it's pretty solid, right? Down the pipe, sled pointed straight. I think that the deficiencies were the 3, 4, 5 area, though.
Yeah. Lose speed early on. There's no time to find it. Well, she's still got lots of question marks about this track this winter. It is a different Eagles, as you keep saying, to anyone that we've ever experienced before. So how will that play out then for your teammate Kendall Westenberg? In 8th place last year. She's been 11th, 15th and 9th so far this season.
See how Kendall could do here. She spent about 2 hours in the leader's box last year at this event, so.
Just a little slip there, I thought, from the final step as she was loading 5.70.
Definitely hurt her start time a bit.
As long as she puts that behind her.
So she's down a little bit on speed right now, but had an excellent exit of turn 2. A nice exit of turn 3, probably some of the cleaner lines we've seen besides Janine Fox. She looks relaxed on the sled, managing the top as well as we've seen anybody. See if she can claw back. 88.7, so pretty good speed. Of course, Janine was out in front of clipping on the left wall. We see the leg action.
And she needed a really great exit off the Kreisel to find speed low down. She's losing speed. Maybe she has got a little too much control in the sled early on.
117.3, so good speed late. And 15th in the splits right now. Let's see if she can claw back a little bit. 11. So she has good speed late and climbs 4 spots in the final corner.
Tied to the 100 with Kimberly Bos.
And flipped.
Yeah.
That is not your favorite thing to do, ever. Tuffy Latour right there to unbury her.
Yeah, dig her out of the avalanche of foam.
That runs a good time. What's that? That runs a good time.
I don't think she was being serious. You see her slip there on the load step. That definitely is what caused that 570 start.
The run was just veering very slightly away from the sled there, and she kind of had to overreach to power step on.
The run itself, I don't think was really that bad. It was just down on speed. That she does have that clip on the exit of Kreisel, the leg action. She keeps the sled pointed pretty well straight though as she goes into 8, but the damage I think was done on the slip on the start.
Yeah. She didn't have the speed that she'd normally have, and as a result, didn't have the control. Janine Flock leads from Elena Nikitina, Jacqueline Lurling. 15 sleds down, 6 to go. This is Marina Gilardoni of Switzerland, 13th here last year. And this is Marina's 56th start in a skeleton alone, plus 12 bobsled races, plus 2 Junior Worlds and 2 World Championships.
5:46 getaway from Marina. She was a little bit late in turn 3 She's parallel into 4. Once again, it's not the normal lines. You see people that are, some are fighting for the spot, others are just taking it. Marina's doing a decent job of just taking what the sled gives her right now.
A 10th back as she gets to the Kreisel. She was tied with Janine Flock early in the run, but losing ground.
Nice exit of turn 9 right down the pipe, 97.9 speed.
She raced here in November in the ICC as well.
Good late speed as well, 117.2. She's in 10th in the splits right now, going through the finish curve, and she will slot in 8th.
Well, she's got lots of experience on this track. Her first race here was in the Junior World Championships in 2008, when she won gold, pushing Fabienne Meyer, the first of 2 Junior World Championship golds she won as a brake woman with 2 different drivers.
We see her here on the start ramp. Once again, 5:46 getaway, so 9th fastest start of the day. You see the sled rattling it around at the end of the groove. Gets lucky, drops a quick toe, gets it pointed straight into turn 1. Great shot right there. And then once again, exit turn 9, another good shot. You can see her staring down into turn 10. It's planted, there's no energy in the sled.
Mixed experience here. Her World Cup results: 14th, 22nd, 9th, 4th, 6th and 13th last year. Next up, Maddie Smith of Great Britain. She turns 24 tomorrow, so happy birthday to you in advance, Maddie. Raced here in November in the EC as well, and made her World Cup debut here last year, which was just 6 World Cup starts ago.
5:47 start time, so mid-pack start time for Maddie. We see a little bit of an oscillation though in turn 1, or turn 2, sorry. Handles it well though, 47.6 speed, so middle of the pack speed, and a nice exit at turn 3. She's 200ths back on Janine right now.
It's a fantastic top part of the track. Can she keep that speed alive further on down?
88.8, really good speed. I think that's the 3rd fastest speed we've seen. Holds on to the exit of Kreisel just as well. Maddie's going to be pretty happy with this if she can hold on to it. This is a good-looking run from the British girl.
Really nice, 98.9, maybe just a little down on speed.
117.7 is a nice look at speed from the bottom. She's currently in 6th on the splits. I think she's going to claw some people back.
And at the line, 4th place. Eric Bonotis supporting the Oddballs charity, like the rest of the British skeleton team, for awareness of prostate cancer. 54.74. Look, we talked before we came on air about how this track produces odd results. Olga Potolitsina of Russia, her only ever World Cup race here, and for several years it was the only other ever World Cup win for her teammate Elena Nikitina. Rose McGrandle's only ever podium for Great Britain, a bronze here. Maddie Smith might be producing her best result of her career so far.
Quit trying to curse the girl. She's got to go down the hill again. But if she does what she did right there on the exit at turn 9 a second time, it's not going to hurt her cause. This was just an all-around really good run for Maddie. She looked relaxed. She was online and let the sled build speed.
Yeah, really nice run. Now let's see who else has got a good one. Yeah, Greg's getting very excited for teammate Savannah Grable. 20th here last year. She's been 20th, 18th and 20th in the 3 World Cups this season. No, she hasn't. She's been 14th, 19th and 13th this season. Her results here are 20th, 18th and 20th. It's a decent run into curve 1.
5:64 getaway, so 17th fastest start. Savannah is known for building speed late, though, so we'll see how she handles this. I think she grazed the left wall out of turn 2, though, so that will not help her cause. Nice exit of turn 3. She's 3,500ths back on the leader right now.
A little hung up there, but kept it straight. 4,800ths back into the Kreisel.
88.2, so she's down a little bit on speed, clipping the left wall out of Kreisel. Let's see if she can put it together through here. Nice exit of turn 9 right down the pipe. 98.2 speed. She needs 117 to claw back a little bit, and she's got it. 117.4. She's going to pull a couple of people back through the big turn 14 and the finish.
17th at the line, 55.23. Well, that means that she is in the second heat.
Tied with Lācis.
Well, as long as there's a tie, that's it. They're in. Even if they're tied for 20th, they'll be 20th equal rather than one of them 21st. So she is in, but not the run perhaps that she was hoping for.
See her going through Kreisel here. She was down on speed when she got there, and then that little loop on the exit and just clips that left wall. Does a nice job of keeping the sled straight, but I think the damage had been done before she got there. I think that tap on the wall on the exit of turn 2 is actually what did her in. See her coming out of turn 9 here. A little bit of leg action, but the runners are pointed straight.
Going later off in the order.
Okay.
That's my general feeling.
Tuffy says the track's going away, and I can't disagree with him on that.
Well, next up is Kim Murray of Great Britain, her 4th World Cup start, so 3 fewer than teammate Maddie Smith. 30-year-old has raced here in the European Cup, and 13th, 16th, 17th her results in her World Cup rookie season. 5:55 to get away.
The question is, did she see Maddie and say, okay, I can do that too? Comes out though and she clips that left wall, 47.4 speed, so that is, she's down on speed, and that clip in the wall isn't going to help. She clips again going into turn 4. Kim needs to put it together through the upper portion of the track. Another drop off and a skid going into Kreisel, down 88.0 speed, and a big toe on the exit. You see her head up, she's just not trusting it right now.
Well, this is not the Eagles that she knows well from all her training with Mark Wood, the development coach.
96.4 speed, so she's down on speed. She needs to get her head down and button it up. 115.3 is not going to help her cause. I think Kim's going to want this one back.
Yeah, she's going to be in 18th place at the line, 19th place at the line. 55.52. Again, only her 4th World Cup start, all of them this season. She came relatively late into the sport. She was 24 years old by the time she got through British selection. Originally a long jumper.
I think that'll see her in the heat, in the second heat, but she's not going to be happy about it. You see her coming out of the start grooves. It comes out straight for her. She's trusting it. Such a cool shot into the visor. Looking into turn 1. But we see her exit turn 6 here. She clips that wall, and you see the back end of the slid kick out, and then just clipping the left wall going into turn 8.
All the tiny little errors that add up to a quarter of a second and half a second at the bottom of the track.
Been there, Kim. Go get him second heat.
2 to go. 20th and first World Cup start of the season for Lelda Pregelena, the 9th place finisher her last year. And in fact, this is her first World Cup since January 2018, 364 days ago.
Almost made it.
Yeah.
5:67 getaway, so 19th fastest start, but a nice looking turn 2. Handles it really well, right down the middle. So 47.0 speed, but that's indicative of the start time, but she really managed turn 2 really well, and turn 3 as well. We'll see how she comes through. She's got some really nice looking lines through the top. 88.0 speed though, so I think Tuffy Latour is right. I think the track is starting to go away a little bit. We've really seen it in the last few sleds. Of course, the Eagles track crew has done a marvelous job even letting us have a race, considering there was a roof sitting on the exit of turn 12 just 2 days ago.
Yeah, lots and lots of snow in Austria, as in Switzerland and Germany, everywhere in the Alps, and so they've had to work really hard to keep the track alive even. And Lelda will be 20th at the line, 19th at the line, pips Kim Murray by 200 as she dives out of the final corner. So she is absolutely in the race. Kim Murray now has to wait another tantalizing 2 minutes to find out if she makes it or not.
Pretty solid looking run from Lelda. There's not a lot of anything really glaring. I'm pretty sure she's pushing injured right now, so that doesn't really help here in Eagles even when it's technical. We see her coming across just a little brush on the wall. That's not kind of a killer though. I think it was a good run that was just hampered by, you know, when you're dinged up at the start, it just makes it a little more difficult here.
Well, 5:67, lacking acceleration at the start, and that haunts you all the way down the track. Final sled in our World Cup race here, Heat 1 in Innsbruck, Austria. And this is 25-year-old Marta Olowska of Poland. Now, we've seen her race in the World Championships on 2 occasions, but she has never, in fact, in 3 occasions, she has never yet started a World Cup race, and she's here because this is the European Championships as well.
See what Marta can do here. A World Cup debut, 5:73 start. Catches the end of turn 1 a little bit.
Strictly speaking, this isn't actually a World Cup race for her, but she's in the World Cup field because it's the European Championships. I'm not quite sure how that works.
All I see is her sliding on TV, and I know her parents are home and are proud to see it too.
Absolutely.
Anytime you get a chance to represent your country on the big stage, it is an awesome experience. 87.7 here. Mara's having a pretty solid looking run. Little clip on the wall going into turn 8. 21st on the split time right now. A nice looking exit to turn 9. These are good looking lines from the Polish girl.
When she first came here for the Worlds in 2016, she was a very raw slider. She's got a little more polish, a little more refinement with every year we've seen her. Nice look at the line, 21 at the line, 55.87. So she will not be in the second heat, and Kim Murray can breathe easy, at least till she gets to the top of the track and has to start warming up again for the second heat. But Marta Orlowska of Poland, 21st place at the line, and she will not be having a second trip down the Innsbruck track. Only 4 runs in training, so limited experience again for all the athletes of the conditions this weekend.
Sarah, a little clip on the wall on the exit of Kreisel. So you're coming out of turn 10, got some toe action, and that's an experience thing. She had the line. She just needs to trust it, and that will come with time. But you know what? First time on the big stage, good-looking run, something to be proud of.
Got to get time on the ice, and time on the ice, particularly on this track, always helped. Now, Janine Flock of Austria is leading. She won 2 races here in November at the second level of sliding, but against a pretty decent field. Can she win here in the World Cup? The answer is going to be an hour and more in the coming, because the gap first to second is only 0.09 of a second. That is no margin for error whatsoever. But the Austrian girl on an Austrian-built sled is our race leader, from Elena Nikitina of Russia and Jacqueline Lerling of Germany. From outside there, well, Elizabeth Meyer and Maddie Smith tied for 4th. Are they close enough? Only if somebody flakes. Julia Kanakina, ditto, only 300s behind them. And Tina Herman, 200s behind her. I think Herman will come into Heat 2 loaded for bear. And there are some very close battles right behind. Kim Murray will be our first of our top 20. And Marta Orlowska will join the fans trackside. Join them, Greg West, me, Martin Haven, and the rest of the IBSF TV crew for our second and deciding heat. We are on air at 16:05 local, 15:05 GMT. Join us then. Until then, from Innsbruck in Austria, goodbye for now.
Un fazzoletto.
Questi sono il massimo.
Massimo Pulidori? Sì, così.
Oh, yeah.
Poi fa